Okay, well, I was really looking forward to this movie, and I picked the worst timing to go and see this one because I was in a cinema full of screaming children. And look, I can't really yell at kids to shut up during a kids movie, so I'm kind of going to have to let this one slide. Let's look into the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Come on, show the movie!
Hey, down in front!
Nine!
Okay, so the Super Mario Brothers movie, it's basically like a Mario game. Basically, Bowser is causing a lot of mischief, and it is up to the Mario Brothers to be able to save the Mushroom Kingdom and all the other kingdoms in the surrounding area. So just keep in mind too, this is made by Illumination, who are behind the works of Despicable Me and the Minions franchise, and also a bunch of other Illumination animation movies. And I gotta tell you, like, the animation in this movie is just really solid. I absolutely love the look of this film, and especially for it being a Mario movie, it just really suits it. Okay, now look, like, we're going to be talking about the voice acting in this movie because, look, like, when it was announced who was actually playing Mario in the movie, like, look, it's been talked to death, but let's get into it. So with the voice cast, you got Chris Pratt as Mario, you got Charlie Day as Luigi, Jack Black as Bowser, you got Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, you got Anya Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach, and you got Keegan-Michael Key as Toad. Now, I feel like the voice acting that really stood out the most was Charlie Day as Luigi and Jack Black as Bowser. Like, honestly, I feel like it's perfect casting having Charlie Day as Luigi and Jack Black as Bowser as well. Like, I don't even notice that it's Jack Black until a couple of other scenes, but honestly, Jack Black probably did a really great portrayal of Bowser as the voice in this movie, and I really did enjoy that. Sort of that feel of having Jack Black in it, but not even realizing that Jack Black is in it. And with the other cast of characters as well that are involved in this movie, played by the other actors that were involved, honestly, it really does suit the voice actors for these characters. And I can't really picture anybody else playing these characters other than the cast that I just immediately announced to you guys. Now, other things as well that I want to add into this movie as well. First of all, like I said, I spoke about how good the animation is in this movie. Like, this is a really good looking movie, but also some of the action sequences involved in this movie were really entertaining. Like, I really enjoyed watching, just these famous video game characters come to life on the big screen. Now, also, even when you start watching this movie, literally within the first 5 minutes, it is Easter eggs and references galore. But it's not like forced Easter eggs or anything like that. It's like as soon as you notice some of the references that are involved in this movie, you're like, oh wow, that actually unlocked a memory for me. Now look, there is one little minor complaint that I could say about this movie, and look, it's not really a spoiler, but I do wish that there was a bit more Mario and Luigi involved throughout the whole movie. Now, there is some of that involved in the movie, like particularly towards certain scenes and certain events that happen in the movie, but I do feel like that there was should have been a little bit more of it. Like, for example, like, you know how like in a Mario video game, you have to rescue Princess Peach? Yeah, in this one they kind of flip it, so it's Luigi that's taking on that role this time. But overall, like, I do love the performances of both the characters, but I do wish there was more chemistry between them throughout, sort of like in the middle of the movie, because they just work so well together, both Charlie Day and Chris Pratt. And I kind of want more of that now, especially after the movie is finished. It just made me sort of want, I wish there was a bit more of that involved, a bit more into that movie. Now, another thing too about the action sequences in this movie. Now, there are some platforming scenes like you see in the video games throughout the movie, but I do wish there was kind of a little bit more of that. But however, that little, nitpickiness, I'm kind of going to put to the side because there is a lot that is involved in this movie, and what's shown in this movie throughout, I honestly really enjoyed, and I can't really see myself getting a bit too annoyed with that, especially as well if they do decide to do a sequel to this movie. I guarantee you there's probably is going to be a lot more of that later on. Now, another thing I really want to specify as well before I finish this review is the soundtrack. Like, just hearing the classic themes and music and soundtrack from the old Mario games, even some of the newer ones, just being revamped into a movie soundtrack. Honestly, it just actually brought a smile to my face, and I really enjoyed listening to those classic Mario, theme songs like just involved in the modern day, and I just absolutely, for some reason, it just gave me a big grin on my face, especially during key scenes as well. Now, overall with this movie, like I said, apart from sort of that little flaw of Mario and Luigi sort of like being a bit separated like for a little bit in this movie, I honestly had a really good time watching this movie. Like, the action sequences were great, the animation really suited the film, the cast in this alone is just great, and I just can't picture anybody else playing these characters now after watching this movie. And like I said as well, with the soundtrack, it's just absolutely great. The references in this movie. With this movie, I do feel like it's a movie you guys will like, and it's also a movie I feel like is worthy of a rewatch. But what did you guys think of the Super Mario Brothers movie? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow my socials up here as well. And as always, as I say at the end of these videos, get me some goddamn M&Ms.
Miss Hoover, the movie's over.
Down in front!